What is happening to Soojin's career? Is she flopping? The short answer is no. A lot is indeed happening to her career, but saying that she is flopping is insane. Okay, then what exactly is happening to her? Considering that she was part of a big group before and how skilled she is, why isn't she thriving? That's what we'll talk about in this video. The first and most obvious point is the scandal. Soojin was accused of being a bully in 2021 by a former schoolmate. After a lot of statements, lawyers, and letters, Soojin left I-DLE and disappeared for 2 years. The case had no definite verdict when she left the group, which obviously raised a lot of questions. It made her look like she was kicked out, not that she had chosen to leave. As you probably know, bullying is a huge deal in South Korea, and it has been for decades. Don't get me wrong, in other countries, bullying is a serious issue as well, but not to the same degree. Due to a highly competitive, hierarchical, and monotonous environment that lacks basic empathy, bullying becomes a source of amusement. According to a recent study, the percentage of students in Seoul who are victims of bullying in school has been the highest since 2013. There are actual federal laws for dealing with school bullying specifically in the country. Now you probably understand better why idols who are accused of it face so much controversy. Imagine those who, like Soojin, had an unfair conclusion to their case. A simple bullying indictment is so damaging that idols who are accused of it but proven innocent still face an incredible amount of hostility for life. Stray Kids Hyunjin was accused of bullying around the same time as Soojin, but was proven innocent. Even so, many people still claim him to be a bully to this day. Same with Chuu from Luna. Soojin's scandal tainted her image completely, especially in her home country. It changed the perspective of everyone who didn't care to know more. Whenever Soojin appears on mainstream, people, specifically Koreans, flood her with insults and hate comments regarding the scandal, claiming that no matter what she does, she will still be a bully. They explicitly mention the scandal as the reason why they do not care about her. Misogyny also plays a part here. South Korea would let a killer off the hook if it were a man. Anyways, amidst such comments, many still praise her skills and talent, but they can't afford to support her, knowing that she was an alleged bully. There are international fans who are also unaware of how the case concluded, yet they still appear to be much more empathetic toward her. The saddest thing is that the investigation determined that Soojin was a victim of bullying herself and not the other way around. My point with all of this is, a huge part of why she's not doing super well is because of how tainted her image is. Unfortunately, her case is way too extensive for people to just take a quick Google and find out the truth. To this day, there isn't a clear statement explicitly saying she's innocent. I mean, there is, but it was released by her lawyer separately and not Cube or Soojin herself, which means that basically two people saw it. The second point, BRD Entertainment. BRD Entertainment is a brand new company. Soojin and Ben, a famous OST singer, are the only artists signed to it. The company, however, does not do a good job at handling the artists, especially Soojin. They treat her career as if she were a consolidated artist who does not need support, promotions, or marketing. The company seems to think that because she has a fan base, mostly composed of I-DLE fans, she has it all, but that's obviously not true. The number of I-DLE fans supporting her is minimal. I-DLE gained a significant fan base after she left, and most of these new fans didn't care for her because they had no form of attachment to her or the group beforehand. If they keep doing things like this, Soojin will not gain new fans, only maintain the few ones she has. The lack of organization and planning just takes Soojin's career down a deeper hole, leading people not to trust or take her seriously as a soloist. The disregard and mistreatment of her is not something new. After her comeback with Riz in May of 2024, she had no scheduled events until August of 2025. That is 1 year and 3 months of hiatus. There were some tours and fan meetings scheduled, but they also fell through, and not only once, but multiple times. Following her Riz comeback in 2024, a US tour was announced and canceled before tickets were even released. In 2025, immediately before her comeback, they announced a tour in some big venues, which were all canceled. Lastly, a week before a fan meeting occurred in Shanghai, the company announced that the event had been canceled with no explanation. Curiously, Ben, the other artist signed in the company, has never had anything similar happen to her. The company expects her to go viral while giving her nothing to work with, quite literally. Her career lacks direction within the company, and this is why every time she comes back, people point out that it sounds boring or nothing like Soojin. When she was in I-DLE, she had really good direction, thanks to Soyeon specifically. Her latest release proves this point perfectly. I know that this obviously falls into a place of subjectivity, but I think quality and direction can be pinpointed quite easily. Comparing it to the other EPs, Batitude has a lot more direction and vision behind it. Because of that, she's accumulated nearly 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. From Agashi to Mona Lisa, she barely got any, even though she sold 100,000 copies of the album. I know there isn't much that fans can do about companies, but I think it's important to point out how much it affects her. For some time, it made sense to play safe with her career, but damn, it's been almost 2 years since her return. Third point, fans. A fun phenomenon happens with I-DLE and Soojin. People pretend to be fans of either to attack both. Every time Soojin or I-DLE come back, multiple comments saying that they were better before Soojin's departure, or saying that Soojin is not fit to be a soloist appear. Again, this falls into a place of subjectivity, but that's not the point here. They do not care about the songs or the artists. It's an endless cycle that gives complete autonomy to a hate discourse towards the artists, so they can hate whatever they want under a pretentious reason. It's obvious that they were better off together. No one wanted them apart, but they are not anymore. I-DLE has gained multiple awards with and without Soojin. Soojin has done multiple tours, sold thousands of albums, and is doing her best with what she has. What I-DLE will put out will not be the same as before, and the same goes for Soojin. Hanging on down to this thought is beyond silly. These people take advantage of the fact that Soojin's case is vague to pin the blame on I-DLE for everything that goes wrong in her career. In the same sense, they blame Soojin for the reason why I-DLE has changed their sound. Fourth point, I-DLE. I-DLE still keeps in contact with Soojin. It doesn't take a lot to know that. They have hinted at her 1,000 times in music videos, VCRs, award shows, and recently, Shuhua even posted a picture where her hand appears. There are many more situations that I could mention, but that's not necessary. Ever since her departure, they have been honoring and hinting at her with their songs. Because of that, people were led to believe that she would, at some point, come back to the group. They have expressed multiple times how they felt about it. They have never once suggested that she'd be back, at least not in the way people were expecting her to. Seriously, people saw a coffin and thought she would pop out of there, like, come on. Fans create huge expectations based on their view of a situation, and when this fantasy is not met, they pin it on the girls, and then proceed to pin the girls against each other when none of them is at fault. I understand that this behavior most of the time comes from a place of hope or frustration, but it's completely unjustifiable. It's a way to blame someone because the real person to blame is unreachable. Insisting on an illusion is easier than showing support. I truly believe Soojin can become a big solo artist, a remarkable one, but for that, a lot has to change. In the future, she may or may not return to I-DLE. It's a hope many carry, me included, and it makes sense. If there's a group who have the balls to make something like this happen, it's I-DLE, but that won't happen for now, and we should support her as such. Thanks for watching and let me know your thoughts.